We frequently think of our relationships as ordinary extensions of our daily routines, rarely stopping to examine their tremendous impact on our well-being. Yet what if I told you that the quality of your relationships could be the single most essential aspect in your quest for a life that is content and happy? This video delves into the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us not only how to be resilient and peaceful in the face of adversity, but also how important it is to surround ourselves with people who genuinely respect and enrich our lives. Stoicism is about recognizing what's truly beneficial for our inner tranquility and moral development. In this video, we'll explore the 12 telltale signs that might indicate it's time to reevaluate certain relationships, possibly even to the point of walking away. This involves consciously choosing a route that is in line with wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation, rather than just avoiding harmful influences. Come along with me as we explore these revelations, making sure that every action we take leads to both inner serenity and a deeper comprehension of what it is to live a decent life in accordance with Stoicism. Whether you want to build stronger bonds with others or have the guts to make tough choices, this conversation will provide you with the resources and viewpoints needed to change the way you approach building relationships with others. Together, let's go out on this trip to learn how to sever our relationship with grace and safeguard our most valuable possession, our peace of mind. If you value what we're accomplishing here, the easiest thing you can do for us for free is to subscribe. You should also watch the entire video to make sure you understand the substance of the conversation we're going to have. In the world of Stoicism, persistent disrespect is the cornerstone around which all other relationships are based. It is intrinsic to the fabric of any healthy relationship. Respect is strongly related to the virtue of justice, which requires treating people fairly and with dignity. Therefore, when we discuss the ongoing lack of respect, we're talking about a serious breach of both Stoic principles and interpersonal ethics. Imagine being treated consistently without the fundamental decency you show to others. It would be like having your dignity gradually eaten away. When someone consistently treats you with disrespect, they are not only harming your well-being, but also making it more difficult for you to live by these principles. When we encounter such disregard in any form, through words, actions, or simple neglect, it's a stark indicator that something fundamental is missing. This consistent undermining of one's dignity is not only unpleasant, but it also indicates that the relationship is out of sync with the Stoic aim of living a virtuous life. For Stoics, every interaction is an opportunity to practice virtues like wisdom and justice. Stoicism helps us respond with reason, judgment, and emotional detachment, rather than with rage or resentment, which are natural but useless emotions. This entails accepting that a lack of respect is a departure from virtuous living. It's not about blaming or getting upset, but rather about realizing how other people's actions affect our ability to live well and determining, in a cool, collected manner, whether those relationships should still have a significant impact on our lives. Acknowledging and dealing with persistent disrespect isn't just a reactive action. Rather, it's a proactive one that protects one's moral integrity and mental peace. It's about making a decision that is consistent with Stoic values, deciding to live a reasonable and dignified life, and refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. This isn't simply self-defense. It's an affirmation of your value and dedication to the Stoic pursuit of virtue. Adverse impacts on mental well-being. The people around us can have a significant and enduring impact on our mental health. Stoicism teaches us the value of preserving our peace of mind, or the state of being quiet and unperturbed. This isn't about repressing feelings, but rather comprehending and effectively handling them, particularly when they are influenced by other people. If you find that you are constantly experiencing anxiety, depression, or stress as a result of someone's influence in your life, it's a clear indication that the relationship may be doing more harm than good. Stoics believe that our well-being is primarily determined by our inner state rather than our external circumstances, but they also acknowledge that we have a responsibility to safeguard our inner peace from disruptive influences. Stoicism encourages us to create environments that contribute to our well-being, rather than just endure hardship. Relationships that consistently drain your emotional energy or make you feel diminished can also make it more difficult for you to live a peaceful and meaningful life. Reflecting on the impact of a relationship on your mental health isn't just about identifying negative emotions. It's about taking action to ensure you're not held captive by them. This may mean setting boundaries or even distancing yourself from those who consistently disrupt your peace of mind. In doing so, you're not just seeking to escape discomfort. Rather, you're actively choosing a path that aligns with Stoic virtues. Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoic thinkers, frequently discusses the significance of surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, seeking to live a life characterized by reason. The ultimate goal of Stoic practice is to foster a healthier, more harmonious life. When a relationship consistently undermines your mental health, it's a signal to reevaluate and possibly recalibrate your social connections. This isn't a failure to endure, but rather a strategic decision to do so. Emotional resilience and peace are the most important aspects of this. Out of alignment values. Our basic values and beliefs serve as a compass to help us navigate the complexities of life and make decisions that are consistent with who we are and what we stand for. When these beliefs and values constantly conflict with those of someone close to us, it can cause serious internal conflicts. Since Stoicism places a high value on harmony and moral integrity, these misalignments raise major concerns, in addition to being uncomfortable. The Stoics taught that leading a moral life in accordance with reasoned principles brings peace of mind. However, when someone close to us upholds values that differ from our own, it can be difficult for us to keep this peace. For instance, if you value honesty and someone close to you frequently distorts the truth, this fundamental difference can cause ongoing tension and discomfort over time. These conflicts can also erode the mutual respect and trust that are necessary for any successful relationship. More deeply, Stoicism invites us to consider our relationships and make sure they advance our moral and personal development. Marcus Aurelius frequently discussed the value of surrounding oneself with people who exhibit the virtues we strive for. When our core values conflict with those of our associates, we may find ourselves compromising these values or experiencing ongoing ethical conflict, which can impede our ability to become more stoic. This isn't about judging the other person as wrong, but rather realizing that not every relationship serves the higher purpose of your ethical and personal development. Addressing such misalignments involves a thoughtful examination of the relationship. It may require open and honest discussions where both parties can express their values and explore whether a mutual understanding or compromise is possible. However, if the gap is too wide, it might be necessary to reconsider the relationship's role in your life. Misaligned values must be acknowledged and addressed in order to preserve internal harmony and make sure that our relationships support our efforts to live moral and meaningful lives. This alignment is essential to the Stoic aim of peace and, eventually, pleasure. Feeling consistently drained. When you interact with someone and find yourself feeling consistently drained, it's a sign that the dynamics of the relationship may not be in line with Stoic principles, which place a high value on self-preservation through calm and peaceful living. In any healthy relationship, the exchange of energy should be revitalizing rather than depleting. Stoicism emphasizes the value of preserving our inner strength and making wise use of it. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius highlighted the importance of forming caring, reciprocal relationships over ones that deplete our emotional or physical resources. According to Stoic principles, feeling depleted after interacting with someone is not just a small annoyance. Rather, it is a profound drain on the very resources you need to live a good, productive life. Being continually exhausted can take many different forms, including physical exhaustion, emotional exhaustion, and a sense of dread about impending interactions. These signs point to a relationship that is more expensive than it is beneficial, which Stoics would contend is unwise and unsustainable. Every relationship should improve your well-being and help you grow into a better, more moral person. In these cases, taking action entails carefully considering why the relationship drains you. Is it because of a lack of mutual support, one-sided interactions, or maybe the other person's incessant demands or negativity? Finding the source of the problem is the first step in determining a solution. Whether it's by being open and honest about how you're feeling, establishing stronger boundaries, or, in certain situations, thinking about severing the relationship if it seems unsalvageable in order to protect your peace and well-being. Managing these taxing exchanges involves creating space for more meaningful, enlightening, and helpful relationships that support Stoic principles of respect for others and personal development. It goes beyond simply purging negativity from your life. Every relationship you have should enrich your life rather than diminish it, enabling you to prosper and positively impact the lives of others around you. In the world of Stoicism, manipulation occurs when the search for truth and clarity is above all. These qualities enable us to live in harmony with the environment and our own selves. However, manipulation contradicts these principles head-on because it distorts reality, favoring the manipulator at the expense of the manipulated. This distortion can cause you to make poor decisions, impairing your judgment and moving you away from the Stoic ideal of leading a calm, moral life. Moreover, manipulation in relationships frequently involves subtly deceptive psychological techniques that are difficult to spot, such as guilt-tripping or gaslighting, which is a tactic where reality is twisted and your memories or perceptions are questioned. This poses a serious issue. When someone manipulates you, they are imposing their will and interfering with your ability to make rational decisions based on accurate perceptions. Stoicism emphasizes the value of viewing things as they actually are, without the involvement of outside distortions. Adhering strictly to Stoic ideals is necessary while dealing with manipulation. Seek the truth, lead a moral life, and preserve your independence. It is important to restate your principles and commit to actions that match with those values rather than reacting impulsively to the manipulative tactics. This could involve creating clear boundaries with the manipulator or becoming more aware of the indicators of manipulative behavior. Facing manipulation also entails the Stoic practice of reflection. By analyzing the nature of the relationship and your reactions to it, this reflective practice can assist you in determining whether it would be wiser to distance yourself in Stoicism or whether the relationship can be saved through open communication and a shared commitment to change. Making tough but essential choices is frequently required to maintain one's moral integrity and peace of mind, particularly when it comes to shielding oneself from negative influences. Reassigning oneself to the Stoic purpose of leading a genuine and truthful life is the key to breaking free from manipulative relationships. This realignment enables one to think more clearly, make better decisions, and experience a deeper sense of peace, all of which are essential to the Stoic way of life. Signs number 8. Forced isolation. Although Virginia Woolf was a brilliant writer, she frequently battled with isolation, which is a sort of manipulation that can have profound psychological ramifications. This kind of control, whether intentional or unintentional, can create an environment that restricts personal freedom and growth in ways that are very different from Stoic principles. The individual in question suffered from mental health problems that were exacerbated by spending extended periods of time alone, with those around her believing they were providing care. Stoicism shows us the need of social connections and community for our moral and personal development. As Marcus Aurelius once remarked, people exist to help each other. When someone is alone, they are unable to assist others, which makes it more difficult to lead a happy and fulfilling life. Isolation can also be detrimental to your mental health and impair your ability to reflect on the most important philosophical and practical issues in life. Think about how your relationships affect your mental health and social life in general. Do they make you feel more or less connected to others? If you're feeling more and more alone, it might be time to take another look at these connections. If you agree with the Stoic view that relationships should strengthen rather than weaken our ties with each other and the world, please leave a yes or no comment. People's mental and emotional health can be greatly affected by being forced to be alone, whether it's because of social situations, health issues. Stoic concepts can help you discover strength, significance, and calm even when you're by yourself. They can also help you enjoy the present moment. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes inner strength and self-control, which can help you deal with and thrive in situations where you are forced to be alone. Marcus Aurelius advised people to focus on the here and now, pay attention to what they can do right now, and engage in activities that are healthy for their bodies and minds. He also advised against dwelling on regrets from the past or anxieties about the future because you cannot change them. Strengthen your inner fortitude, advises Seneca. When you're alone yourself, use the opportunity to bolster your mental faculties through mindfulness meditation and other techniques. We suffer more often in our fantasies than in reality. Study new subjects and improve yourself. Stoic Epic of Insight. Teachers believed that education was a means of getting something for nothing. Make time to acquire new abilities or expand your knowledge on topics that you find interesting in order to become more intelligent and spiritual. Order and control are necessary for a balanced life, so read, study, and think stoically. Planning a day's worth of work, relaxation, and enjoyable activities is helpful. A regimented routine gives you a sense of direction and normalcy, which reduces feelings of isolation and fosters the development of thankfulness and perspective. Epictetus taught us to focus on the positive aspects of life, acknowledge the small joys and blessings in it, and be grateful for what we have. He also taught us to view challenges as opportunities to improve. Rethinking your priorities and ideals can be aided by seclusion, making you more aware of what matters most. Even if having to spend time alone might be difficult, it can also be a period of profound personal development and self-discovery. By adopting Stoic principles, you have the ability to transform your alone time into a period of inner calm, strength, and acceptance of the present. By building up your inner reserves, you may overcome your isolation. More robust and astute indications. Number 9. Losing your sense of self might result in a loss of personal identity. Signs. Loss of personal identity is number 9. In a relationship, it's an obvious indication that the dynamics might not be healthy for you. Consider the life of renowned poet Sylvia Plath, who battled with her identity while managing unstable relationships that frequently impeded her pursuit of her artistic and personal objectives. Her writings demonstrate a never-ending struggle for independence and freedom of speech, with themes that will resonate with anybody who has ever felt as though their identity has been stolen by another Stoic philosophy that places a premium on virtue and self-awareness. According to legend, Epictetus advised knowing oneself before everything else. Dress appropriately. This demonstrates the significance of understanding your own beliefs and values before allowing other people to influence your life. Stoic ideas advocate living a life in which one's actions are consistent with their internal values. Relationships that cause us to doubt or abandon our core values are in direct opposition to these ideas. Are you living up to your own principles or doing what other people want you to do? In what ways does your partnership empower you to be authentic, or does it constrain your individuality? To ensure that your connections are strengthening rather than weakening you, you must be honest with yourself and provide honest answers to 5 crucial questions. Stoicism is more than just handling life's challenges. It's also about ensuring that these challenges don't stand in the way of our moral and individual objectives. Consider the relationships you now have. The greatest achievement, according to American essayist, lecturer, philosopher, and poet Ralph Waldo Emerson, who spearheaded the transcendentalist movement in the middle of the 1800s, is being yourself in a world that constantly tries to make you something else. Keeping this in mind will enable you to assess the quality of your relationships and ensure that you are authentic in each one. Signs with number. Signs number 10. Infractions against privacy. 10 instances of privacy violations in relationships. When someone violates your privacy, it's an obvious betrayal of trust and an indication that the relationship may not be healthy. Examples of such breaches of trust include reading private messages without your consent, or having someone else watch you talk to them in public. Erin Andrews, a well-known sportscaster, was one of the celebrities who was secretly filmed in her hotel room. This invasion of privacy had a significant negative impact on both her personal and professional lives, demonstrating how serious these kinds of violations are and why privacy is so important. In light of privacy invasions, consider the Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes personal integrity and concern for the individual. Keeping one's dignity and independence requires knowing when to draw the line in a relationship and considering whether to end it or change it. How does it feel to know that your private conversations and places might not be respected? Can you talk about your problems without worrying about being judged, or do you have to watch what you say and do? These questions can help you determine how healthy your boundaries are and how well your relationships treat them. Consider the implications of these privacy violations for you, as well as how they may impact your sense of security and trust. Stoicism teaches us how to safeguard our inner serenity and sense of value, in addition to how to persevere. It's critical to define and communicate your boundaries. Respecting one another's personal space is essential to maintaining successful relationships, since it is necessary for the development of mutual understanding and trust. Indications number 11. Persistent emotional depletion. Persistent emotional tiredness can. The 11th sign is chronic emotional drain. Remove all of the happiness from your life, leaving you exhausted and unable to devote your energy or happiness to the tasks at hand. The life of renowned author Virginia Woolf, who frequently discussed how the stresses of her personal and professional lives exacerbated her mental health issues, demonstrates how ongoing emotional strain can sap one's energy and render it impossible for the mind to find joy in life. Stoicism emphasizes the need of maintaining emotional strength and self-care while drawing attention to the necessity of avoiding situations that generate ongoing stress. Epictetus once remarked, "It matters not what happens to you, but how you react to it." This Stoic concept advises us to take action by avoiding negative influences and to identify when our reactions are out of our control because we are too emotionally spent to manage them. Do you ever feel like your emotions are taking control of you? Do you ever have brief moments of relief in your relationships and everyday interactions? If so, it could be time to adopt a Stoic approach to finding serenity by eliminating negative things from your life, dealing with the root reasons of your emotional tiredness, and making the required adjustments so that you can regain your joy and energy. My mission in life, as poet Maya Angelou once stated, is not only to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with a little bit of comedy, compassion, passion, and style. Allow this to motivate you to discover contentment and serenity outside of relationships that overwhelm you, enabling you to not just endure emotional adversity, but to thrive beyond it. Indifference to your needs and boundaries is sign number 12. Disregard for your requirements and limits in the individuals we encounter on a daily basis. While it's crucial to recognize and honor our own desires and boundaries, there are occasions when other people might not give a damn about these aspects of our lives. Stoicism helps us recognize these kinds of habits and deal with them appropriately by viewing them through the prism of Stoicism. This helps us respect ourselves and take care of our own health. This lesson will examine the concept of someone not being concerned about your wants or limitations, the reasons behind it, and good ways to deal with it by being aware of what you want and what you can't do. Your requirements are critical elements that contribute to your happiness and well-being, such as mental support, respect, and private space. Setting limits is one way to guarantee that these objectives are accomplished. How crucial it is to recognize and cherish your own needs and boundaries for the sake of your mental and emotional well-being. Recognizing indications of apathy. Seek out patterns where individuals minimize or dismiss your needs and boundaries as insignificant. This may manifest as a lack of respect for the time you spend in your personal space or a disregard for the consequences of your actions. People may not always be aware of how their actions influence you because of how they were raised, their culture, or their own habits. Ignorance that persists for a long time might leave you angry, disappointed, and less confident in your own worth. Intentional disdain. In certain cases, people will deliberately neglect your needs and boundaries in order to establish their dominance or to show that they are stoic and uncaring. Take note of your responses and ensure that you are communicating your requirements and boundaries in a straightforward and confident manner. Emotional restraint. To manage your emotions, practice Stoic method techniques like mindfulness and detachment. Consider the ways in which you can alter your actions and responses, establishing boundaries and maintaining contact. When communicating your needs and boundaries to others, maintain composure and be explicit. Avoid seeming accusing. Instead, use polite language constancy. Make sure your boundaries are constantly understood, and if someone persistently acts as though they don't care, take the necessary steps to avoid their bad influence. Setting limits isn't just a way to protect yourself. It also demonstrates your strength and self-respect. You can ensure that your needs and boundaries are understood and followed by being clear about them and constantly reminding people of them. When someone consistently disregards your needs and boundaries in a relationship, it's a clear sign of disrespect and indifference. If someone doesn't care about your wants or boundaries, it can harm your health. You can protect your mental and emotional health by learning the signs, reasons, and Stoic ways to deal with this kind of behavior. Despite his revolutionary contributions to the field of electrical engineering, Nikola Tesla frequently felt underappreciated and misunderstood by his peers and financial backers, who frequently laughed off his visionary ideas and eccentricities, which pushed him to the periphery of social and professional circles. This is comparable to how Tesla felt. Stoicism, a lifestyle that emphasizes self and other respect, shows us how crucial it is to accept one another's boundaries. What is terrible for the swarm is bad for the bee, as Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius famously observed. This picture illustrates how each person's well-being is correlated with the well-being of the group, and that disregarding individual limits reduces the value of the group as a whole. Do you frequently feel that your demands are an inconvenience or are disregarded entirely? If so, Stoic wisdom would advise you to reassess your value in those relationships, promoting environments where mutual respect is top priority. You may have more fulfilling and healthy relationships by being compassionately and firmly explicit about your needs and limits, just like Oprah Winfrey does. As you teach others how to treat you, so beautifully put, let this serve as a reminder to treat people with respect in all of your relationships. Since each person's path is unique, please share how this issue has affected yours. Please click the like button if you find this conversation insightful and helpful. You may share a message with everyone by leaving a comment below this video. Your message may discuss a problem you solved, a lesson you learned, or a positive change you made in your life. Please write a remark with your opinions, and remember to share these significant concepts with everyone you know. In conclusion, if you haven't joined our community yet, click the subscribe button and activate the bell symbol to ensure that you don't miss any future helpful films we provide.